What changed your perspective on someone you hated? I used to start dragging my boots across cracked concrete every morning, already sweating before I hit the time clock at 5:59. Warehouse work isn't glamorous. You load pallets, stack boxes, and try not to pull your back out. And you pray you're not paired with Rick. Rick was that guy. Loud for no reason, always had something slick to say. The kind who never smiled unless he was about to insult you. "Move faster, kid," he'd bark. Back in my day, we didn't whine, we worked. I'm pretty sure his voice came with a built-in megaphone. He had been there forever, and no one liked him, but no one challenged him either. Everyone just let him be a jerk and rolled their eyes behind his back. I kept to myself, mostly. I did my job and kept my head down. But somehow, Rick and I always ended up on the same shift. He'd nitpick everything, correct me over stupid things like how I wrapped shrink wrap. One time, I caught him claiming credit for fixing a jammed belt I'd already handled. I fantasized about swinging a box at his head more times than I want to admit. Then there was this one night. We were deep into a long shift, the kind where the hours blur together and your hands stop feeling like your own. Rick went off for lunch and returned looking like he'd seen a ghost. His face was pale, hands shaking, lips moving like he was talking to himself. I ignored him. He'd been a dick earlier about a mislabeled crate, and I wasn't in the mood. But then I heard a loud crash, turned around and saw him on the ground next to a fallen pallet. The jack handle had slipped right out of his grip. He just sat there staring at his hands like they weren't working. I didn't even think. I rushed over and pulled the jack off him, helped him sit up. He didn't say anything, just nodded once and kept his eyes low. We finished the shift without a word. Next day, he was back to barking orders. But something had changed. His voice was still rough, but it didn't bite as much. Halfway through the shift, he pulled me aside. No yelling this time, just a quiet, "Hey, I owe you an apology. I must have looked like I'd seen a UFO. He kept going. Said he was sorry for everything. Then he told me his wife had stage 4 cancer. Said she had been fighting for over a year, but things were going south fast. I don't know how to be anywhere else, he said. I come here to feel useful. Better than crying at home. His voice cracked. I know I've been hard to work with. I just didn't know where else to put it. I didn't know what to say. Just nodded and said, "Yeah, man, I get it." Things changed after that. He was still Rick, but softer around the edges. He actually asked if I needed help one night. We even ended up talking in the break room about old school metal bands and how his wife used to make this killer chili. He laughed. A real laugh. Not the sarcastic chuckle he usually gave. He looked tired, like years of weight had settled into his face. A few months later, he was gone for a week. When he came back, I didn't have to ask. His eyes said everything. He handed me a folded note. No speech. Just, "This is for you." Inside was a photo of him and his wife in a hospital bed, both wearing these goofy pink fundraiser hats. The note just said, "Thanks for not giving up on me. You made it easier." That note's still taped inside my locker door. The job still sucks. The work's still heavy. But now, sometimes, I catch myself showing the ropes to a new guy or offering to switch shifts so someone else can get a night off. And every time I do, I think of Rick. Sometimes people aren't awful. They're just drowning.